All right, I'm gonna be quiet this time. Anytime you say something heavy though, this speech is filled with like painful stuff. When you get to that painful part, slow it down a little bit.
Yep.
Think consciously. Pinch yourself almost like make it hurt. And then continue. You got it.
Okay. Have you ever felt yourself stuck in a situation you never wanted to be in? Maybe you're stuck in the center seat of an airplane next to a woman who's eating tuna salad to your left and a man to your right that smells like he hasn't showered in days. Or maybe you're at a family birthday party where Grandma Rosie wants to kiss you on the lips. Or maybe it's worse. You've been stuck in a job, maybe a relationship, or a mindset that's been holding you back for years. I have felt trapped in all of these situations, like a caged pit bull just determined to get out. I've spent many years shoving down my thoughts, my dreams, and my emotions just to serve others, and many times at the expense of my own health and well being. I spent 22 proud years serving in the United States military and also serving in a man's world, fueled with toxic relationships and emotional abuse. I've had times where I felt completely and utterly trapped, and I felt like I never had a voice or even that it mattered. And it's actually a miracle that I'm standing here before you. And that's exactly why I am so confident that I can help you break free and level up your life too. So now there were two times in my life that I was a witch for Halloween. And as I stand here with my angelic voice and confident, vibrant self, I want to share with you some of the darkest times of my life. The first was when I was a freshman in high school and I decided to be a witch for Halloween. And I thought I knew it all. My mom told me not to put the wig adhesive on my hair. And of course, at the young age of 15, I knew better. And of course, I didn't listen. And the adhesive completely ruined my hair, which caused me to shave my head and start a new trend. Thankfully, Halle Berry did the same thing at the same time. And I knew I was going to be a resilient leader from the start. After high school, I decided to join the military part time and right after 9/11 to help pay for college, while going after my dreams as a young adult athlete, running track and cheerleading. Fast forward to my senior year in my undergrad when I made it to the NFL. I was cheering for the Buffalo Bills, y'all. Go Bills. And here comes the second time where I played a role of a witch. As they handed me this black costume, I knew I had to play the part and perform a runway show in this costume in front of hundreds of people. I was a poor college student and I went to Payless to buy those black stiletto shoes when they first started coming out. And boy, this is a new trend that wouldn't turn out so well. I woke up on November 1st, 2005, after running that runway show, and my right baby toe was bigger than my big toe. It was so red and hot, I couldn't even put my foot in a shoe. I stalked my doctors for weeks, telling them that something wasn't right. They just kept telling me, slow down, stop wearing those fancy shoes. You got an ingrown toenail. You got an ingrown nail. Stop working out. Just suck it up. And this was familiar for me in the military as well, as we were told to rub some dirt on it, stop being a crybaby, check your emotions at the door, and get on with it. Just do your job. It wasn't more than a few weeks before my right knee started to hurt, then my left knee, and I could no longer walk. The pain traveled up to my right shoulder, then to my left shoulder, then to my jaw. And I had lockjaw for 3 months, and I couldn't even put my pinky finger in my mouth. I had to eat out of a straw, and they almost put metal plates in my jaw to do TMJ surgery. My entire body shut down, and I was lost, confused, sleep deprived, and depressed. I ended up spending 6 months in a wheelchair, taking endless amounts of prednisone, gaining a bunch of weight, while they poked and prodded at me and they tried to figure out what was wrong with me. The doctors threw me around like a rag doll, and my parents were hopeless, and they almost took me to the Cleveland Clinic. Until one day I shared my experience with a classmate who had lupus, and she had similar symptoms. She shared my information with her doctor, and he called me on a Friday night saying the magic words, "Nobody's taking new patients right now, but we'll make an exception. See you next week." He diagnosed me with a really rare form of rheumatoid arthritis, and he worked up this concoction and this solution that would enable me to be able to walk and move again with the least amount of pain. This cocktail was a chemotherapy pill and steroid injections in my quads and in my abdomen every other day. I was just starting to gain traction and being able to move again and to be able to walk again when I got the call from the Air Force Base telling me that this medication is disqualifying, and my military career was over just 3 years into it. While I was waiting for this exit process, I found myself again in the emergency room. And I had so much joint fluid from the top of my leg to the bottom of my leg that filled my entire leg, and I had cankles. So for those of you ladies out there that have had children, I feel your pain. But they had to use the biggest needle that they possibly could. And as they were extracting this joint fluid from my knee, I looked over at this nurse who said, "Hey, aren't you that cute little runner cheerleader girl from the base?" I was like, "Yep, that's me. But that's all over." As I kind of hung my head down. She said, "Something doesn't seem right. You're an athlete. You're a high performer. There's got to be another way." And so we worked together to look at different modalities of healing through anti-inflammatory diets, different medication, nutrition, and also getting therapy. She helped me realize that this was a time in my life that I was in a physically abusive relationship, but most importantly, I was in a toxic, abusive relationship with myself and my health.
Mhm.
I was burned out, beat down, and I had nothing left until my whole body shut down. I shopped for my first apartment in a wheelchair. I got therapy. I got help. I started writing and journaling, and I got myself out of that toxic relationship. I got the support that I needed, and I started taking my health and my fitness seriously. And I started moving my body every single day, like my life depended on it, because it did. And I started walking again, then running one step, one light post at a time, 1 mile at a time, then one 5K at a time, one 10K, half marathons, which led to me running 26 marathons and a 50-mile race. And I'm proud to say that I do not take any ibuprofen or any medication to this day. The doctors call me a freak of nature, but really, I'm a beacon of hope, and resilience is my middle name. And that's exactly why I'm here to share this freedom formula with you. It's not just a set of steps, it's a lifeline that's guided me and countless others through the storm of change with a beacon of hope and light paired with personal and professional growth. Follow my light today and allow me to be your life tour guide. Let me take you on a journey through this formula and let me show you how you can break free and level up your life too. So as we dive into the first step, we must know ourselves to the core. And according to one of my greatest mentors and best speakers in the world, Trent Shelton always says, it all starts with you. You must know yourself to the core. It's about understanding your energy arrives before you do. Your posture, knowing your emotions, and the impact that you have as you enter a room. The energy arrives before you do, even before you open up your mouth. So we have to also recognize that we have core values. We have to recognize what drives you. What are your core values? What are the things that are your shining light? And for me, I have the CEO mindset. So my core values are consistency. What the CEO mindset is consistency, education, while also execution on your goals, but also being open for opportunity and connection. So recognizing that you are a role model and you must step into this next level version of you with confidence, with resilience and strength and tenacity that's going to fuel you forward. And in order to do that, you have to recognize that you have unique gifts and talents. Knowing your personality style, your communication style, your love language, and most importantly, your strengths and your God-given gifts. Tapping into those will set you free and fuel you forward. It breeds a confidence and a connection like no other. Your posture will arrive more confident. It will exude more light and more energy. And I know that when I faced my own identity crisis, I had to reassess my talents and strengths. I moved away from everything I knew to support my ex-husband's career. He was full-time in the military, and I put my full-time career in the military on the back burner to move away with him with 2 months' notice. I spent 6 months broke, without a job. I moved away from my friends, my family, my career, and everything I knew. I hated introducing myself as just his wife when I didn't have a job or an identity. My posture and my energy screamed out loud until the day that I found a transitioning life coach for veterans on LinkedIn. And I hired her and I poured my heart and soul into her. She empowered me and asked me some powerful questions. What are your talents? What are your values? What are your strengths? What are your gifts that you can share with the world? And those answers to me were not what my guidance counselor told me. They weren't the military. They weren't project management. They weren't finance. It was entrepreneurship. And so I started an online fitness business in 2017, positioning myself as an online fitness coach, helping people live happier and healthier. And no one knew what an online coach was back then. And they didn't need to. Only I knew what I wanted to do to help others and leave the legacy that I wanted to live. And so I needed to reframe myself and I had to put my shoulders back and down, understand who I was to the core. And so I want to share with you my core posture. So your core is from your trunk here to here. So we want to bring our hips under, tighten the core to your top, chin up, buttercup, don't put your head down, put it up, shoulders away from your ears, and being open for opportunity and knowing who you are to the core. That's where we begin. Now that we have that foundation, we're going to get into confidence. Now, confidence is not just dressing fancy and just faking it till you make it. It's about knowing your mission, knowing your needs, and knowing your goals. I used to wait for validation, for people to wait for me, to clap for me, to recognize me. But then I realized I had to embrace my own vision and get really creative with selling myself and my mission. Starting an online business in 2017, also well in the diversity and inclusion space, well before COVID and the civil unrest, I had to get very creative because no one understood. No, they're like, Crystal, you're doing a lot. We don't understand you. And I just kept going and I kept relentless in the pursuit of was setting my soul on fire. And so my mission, I had to figure out what problem am I going to solve? What is my legacy? How can I be confident in that message? So I'm on a mission to help empower every person on the planet put themselves and their health first for 34 minutes a day, so we can reduce the stress and overwhelm of life and live a more fulfilling life. I'm so confident in that desire, in that mission. That is my life's purpose. So every single day when I put my 2 feet down on the ground, everything that I do aligns with that mission. People were like, "Crystal, how are you so confident?" It's because I am so confident in the pursuit of what is setting my soul on fire each and every day. And y'all know I spent 6 months in a wheelchair, and there were days that I couldn't put my 2 feet down. So I don't take that for granted anymore. And that's what exudes the confidence. And how do we get there? I recognize that I have needs. I have to recognize my own needs. I have to set boundaries and communicate them. If I want this next level version of myself, what's it going to take to get there? I have to recognize that I am here and I have somewhere I need to go. What's the gap? Own it, honor it, and be in pursuit, daily pursuit of what sets your soul on fire. That breeds a different energy. That breeds a different confidence. When you are clear in that pursuit, the confidence will come, the confidence will shine. And then lastly, we have to know exactly what our goals are and visualize them. If you don't know what your goals are and where you're going, we're just floating through life. Of course, you're not going to be as confident because we're going to be wishy-washy. When you're clear, you're confident. And then we have to get competent in the daily pursuit. And that means you got to keep showing up no matter what, like your life depends on it, because it does. And I once had a boss in the military that told me, "Hey, no one's coming to save you. I'm not going to advocate for your program. I don't believe in all that stuff. What are you going to teach me? Oh, you think you're a life coach, young lady? What are you going to teach me?" He said, "Sounds like you need to get bigger elbows." And those were the magic words. That's what I needed to hear. I no longer wait for validation. I no longer wait for someone to clap for me. I'm clapping for myself because I am confident in pursuit of what is setting my soul on fire, and that's to impact the world and help people live happier and healthier with this message, with this freedom formula. And so I do that with coaching, with my courses, vision board workshops, retreats, books, and I'm here in pursuit. So every single thing that I do is aligned. So I am confident in that. So you can be confident all you want, but if you are not consistently doing the daily activities that are going to fuel you forward, then we're just kind of floating and we're start and stop. And it's like a fad thing. So in my world, we are consistent. The consistency is key, which brings us to the third C in the freedom formula, is consistency. So we have to have a set of daily standards that we show up no matter what. We all have 1,440 minutes in a day. If you were to spend 2 minutes in the morning of goal setting, gratitude, and intentions and setting your day on the offense instead of in the reflection or in the defense or reactive mode, start 2 minutes every single day. Move your body for 30 minutes every single day. And spend 2 minutes at the end of every single day of reflection, recalibration. What can we do differently? What got in the way? What did we accomplish today? And celebrate and own each day. So that's your 34-minute mindset. 2 minutes in the morning, goal setting, gratitude, intentions, 30 minutes of movement, and 2 minutes of owning and honoring each day. So when we have our daily standard, starting with at least 34 minutes a day, we're honoring our relationships, we're honoring our sleep, our wellness, our hydration, and our movement each and every day. And it's a contract that we have with ourselves. And the brain keeps track of the times that we show up for ourselves and our health. And the brain also keeps track of the times that we cancel on ourselves. So we must utilize the tools that we have. So I have a free habit tracker. We have a planner, the Crystal Clear Life Planner. And most importantly, we must get accountability. We must tell someone and get in community Tell someone our goals. And people farther along than you are not going to judge you. They're going to help lift you up and fuel you forward so you can be consistent in that pursuit. And I'll tell you, when I first started my business, I was traveling all over for the military, and we would start our days super early. So, how was I able to get to a gym? I traveled for 2 years for certification all over. Bags were constantly packed. I didn't spend more than 2 weeks in one spot for 5 years straight. And so I started this online fitness business, trying to move all over, sacrificing so much. I couldn't get to a gym. And so I built this 30-minute mindset, this 30-minute workout that you could do from a hotel room or the side of the road or in a gym or in a bathroom, anywhere. And so everywhere I went for the military, I would get these people together to work out quickly before the day started. And so I did that for so long, building community and connection. And I always say those that sweat together stick together. And so it wasn't until COVID happened in 2020, March 17th of 2020. I'll never forget that call. All the gyms shut down. And it was because I was consistent. I was building community. I showed up. I did these workouts from the kitchen, from a bathroom, from a gym, from the side of the road. And people are always like, "You're that crazy girl that does all these workouts." All the gyms just shut down. Can you teach something online? And I'll tell you, that call saved my life. Because most people don't know that just 6 months prior to that, I had cancer surgery. So most people's 2020s dumpster fire was my 2019. And I wasn't even cleared by my doctor yet. And because I had started an online business in 2017, and I was relentless in building community and helping people work out and live happier and healthier, and I tried to figure out online, I got certified as a coach through freeconferencecall.com before Zoom. And so my friend said, "Hey, can you teach something online?" I said, "Yes, absolutely." So I started teaching at 6 a.m. and 6 p.m. every single day during COVID. I taught dance camps, cheer camps for children. I taught every single day for free for months. And that helped build accountability and the momentum back into my world again and gave me hope and resilience again. And I answered that call once again for the nation in the times that they needed the most. And it just goes to show, when you consistently show up, no matter what, it's going to breed the momentum and people will notice. And that's going to build another level of confidence. And also the community will show up. An opportunity will knock. So utilize the tools and keep showing up no matter what. Be consistent in pursuit of what sets your soul on fire, and do the things, the daily things that are necessary to fuel you forward. And I know I mentioned a lot that community is key. We need accountability, especially as high performers, right? We have this like big, audacious, bodacious goal, and it seems unachievable, and we don't want to, we're scared, and we have this big leap that we have to do. And then our fear creeps in. And then that inner critic creeps in. And then the blame and the shame and the guilt creeps in. And who are you to go after that? No, you're not worthy. No, you're not fast enough. No, you're not fit enough. No, you're not popular enough. No, you don't have enough followers. Who are you to write a book? And this, my friends, is where community creeps in, is powerful. When you're around a supportive community, when you have people that are aligned to your dreams and goals, your energy will shift instantly. You get to see momentum of other people going after their dreams and goals. You get to see evidence of other people showing you what's possible. But also, you get to be a role model in this community as well. When you find yourself in a space, in a place that are your people, I always say that momentum plus evidence of other people doing the things plus connection, that breeds a confidence and a willingness and a pursuit of resilience and strength and capability and confidence that will launch you to your next level. And so getting around the right community that are going to help hold you accountable, fuel you forward, show you what's possible, lift you up when you need it, but also you're there to pour into that community too and show others what's possible as well. So we don't just go into community just to take. It's how can we serve? What value do you have? You have you have values, you have gifts, you have strengths that you can serve this community as well. And so in my world, we have a 48-hour rule. So we don't go any more than 48 hours without checking in and without tapping in. Because a lot of times when we go to level up, we get in our own head and we have this comparison that creeps in, especially when we get around community. And it's so important to stay connected so we don't get in that comparison game. And we have others that are going to be able to lift you up. And so have a contract with yourself that you are going to spend no more than 48 hours. We feel and we deal and we heal and we come back. And we're going to come back stronger. And I'm not going to sing, I'm mostly a dancer, but I'm coming back stronger, right? So you got to have a team of accountability so you can come back stronger. And we're going to be faced with life challenges and stressors and pressures, but we don't have to do the life alone. And after building a life, a career, and dreaming of a future with my husband of 10 years, the one thing I kept building, we moved 5 times in 7 years. The one thing that I held on to was the very community that I built over the last 7 years since starting an online business in 2017. I built a network and a community everywhere. I searched for run groups, networking groups, veteran groups, business groups, and fitness meetups. And when I couldn't find them, I created them. I even started a Wine on Wednesday group in my new neighborhood. And by the grace of God, on the first day, 3 days into moving to this new place, I had 27 strangers in my living room. They like to drink wine in this neighborhood. But when I was faced with the biggest betrayal, I had a community. I had a support system. I had a therapist. I had this freedom formula. I had this set of tools and resources in my tool belt that I knew that I could be courageous in the season of change, in the hardest season of my life. The community was there. They were already there. I didn't have to wait till it was too late, till I needed them. They were already there, supporting me, hearing me out, hearing my cries, 2 a.m. calls. They were holding space, and they showed me what was possible for a supportive community. They showed me that I too am worthy of asking for help, of delegating tasks to my team, and feeling loved and supported during the most challenging time of my life. And I know that I'm stronger today because I had a community and a network of professionals, colleagues, and a therapist to guide me through. I know that I'm never alone, and I learned that asking for help is a sign of strength. Nobody farther along than you is going to judge you. They will lift you up in spirit and prayer, and you will make it through the storm, no matter what. And finally, I'm here to celebrate 1 year and how much I've been through and how much I've gone through and how much self-care habits I've implemented and how much peace and joy I've been able to recreate and redesign a life that I desire in this next season of my life. I get a blank slate, and every day is a blank slate for you too. And so as we round out the 5th C is celebration, figuring out your next chapter, your next season, you get a blank slate. You get to design the life that you desire. Why not you? So we need to plan out our day, plan out our weeks, plan out our months. It doesn't have to be perfect. But you also need to start with the end in mind of what you want to accomplish, where you want to go, where you want to be on December 31st of this year. And how are you going to celebrate when you achieve those goals? I can't tell you how many people I ask when you're going to, when you achieve your goals, what you're going to celebrate. Well, no, Crystal, I don't have kids. I have kids. I can't celebrate. I don't have time for that. No, no, that's being too selfish. I can't do that. I can't take that trip. Can't go on your retreat. I can't afford that. I can't do all that. That's nice for everyone else, but not me. And I'm here to tell you there's another way. We have to be able to share our goals and our dreams with our loved ones and our support system and our community and our network so they know what you're going after, so they can help you celebrate and also help you delegate. So often we take on all the things in the world. We have to think, we have to do it all. And so we don't ask for help. And one of the things that I've learned is when there's tension in your life, pay attention. And what can you do right now with what you've got? What can you delegate? How can you ask for help? And how can you celebrate and honor all the hard work that you have accomplished? Because you too are worthy of celebration. You too are worthy of hope. You too are worthy of this next chapter. But so often we put ourselves aside and we don't want the limelight. And we want to celebrate and create these massive experiences for everyone and everything else. But when it's our turn, we're like, no, it's just that. No. So I want to share with you that I've run 26 marathons. I know I shared this earlier. I've run 26 marathons in a 50-mile race. And I'm not saying that to brag anymore. I'm saying that I am proud of all that I have accomplished. But I didn't always think that way. I listened to other people's opinions, what I like to call the OPOs, other people's opinions, and I dimmed my light. And I didn't celebrate and honor all the hard work and all the things that I went through and I endured. There's people that didn't know that I was in a wheelchair, that didn't know I had cancer because I never shared it. There was one year that I ran 7 marathons in 1 year. I qualified for Boston, New York, and Chicago in less than 2 years, and I barely shared any of it. And on December 31st, I looked down with tears overlooking all of my medals, my 7 marathon medals. And I was depleted. And I wasn't proud. It's because I wasn't stopping to honor the steps. I wasn't stopping to celebrate. And I didn't think I was worthy of that limelight because there she is, getting an award again. There she is, running another marathon. I heard it all. So I stopped. I stopped sharing. I went silent. And it was only hurting myself. But it wasn't until someone asked me, like, why do you run so much? And also, why were my medals that meant so much to me in a box? They belonged on my wall as a constant reminder of every step, every rep that I took, celebrating every step. And so I want to share with you, I had to redefine the definition of bragging. Definition of bragging in my world is celebrating yourself and putting someone else down in the same sentence. I'm going to say that again. Definition of bragging is celebrating yourself and putting someone else down in the same sentence. So if you're not doing that, then you are not bragging. Keep celebrating the heck out of yourself because you are worth it. And you have made it through 100% of all the hard things that you've been through, and you are worthy of every single celebration. And so I want you to put your hand on your heart. And I want you to say, I am worthy. I am calm. I am strong. I am worthy of 34 minutes a day. I will cruise beyond limits. And in order for us to, thank you. And in order for us to cope with all the stress and overwhelm of life, we often put on these masks. We put on these costumes. And we put on these superhero capes to fly all over the world and do all these things and be so focused on our greatness and all the things that we have to achieve and create this world for everyone else that's in it. We get so much done in a day. But sometimes we need to put our own mask down, put our own cape down. And maybe this mask or this costume is a uniform in the military or a uniform at work, a job, motherhood, your business. And maybe it's just showing up full hair and makeup, red lips, dressed to the nines, looking perfect. This mask and this costume that we put on allows us to continue to cope and survive. And every day we set out to take on the world. And soon enough, you feel like enough, all of this just isn't enough. And you need to do all these extra things to be successful, to be happy, to do your job, to fall in line, to fit in, and to be, well, you. Until one day, your wings are clipped, your angelic wings are clipped, and your mask gets ripped off from you in an instant. Well, that's why I'm telling you right now, my friends, we're not doing that anymore. We're not taking your costume away. We're not taking your mask away. We're not taking your identity away. I just want you to put it down for a little bit. Give yourself the gift. I want you to rest your shoulders, rest your heart, and just be you. Get back to basics. And it all starts with you. And it's a journey. And we need to get back to the basics and recognize this freedom formula and these steps that are within us so that we can revive and thrive again and soar even higher. And I'm proud to say that as of today, I traded in all my witch costumes, my mask, my red lips, and my cape for a bathing suit, flip-flops, and a messy bun to move to the beaches of Puerto Rico to set out on my next adventure. All of me totally free. Using this very system yet again. The work works when you do the work. I'll keep showing up no matter what, like my life depends on it, and so will you. Because the work works. Are you with me? Are you ready to soar? Yes or yes?
How you feel?
Okay. I think it was a lot.
That's good. It's supposed to be a lot.
Mm-hmm.
What
That was 30 minutes,
mm-hmm.
right?
Um almost
It was a little
we
more.
I want to yeah, I want to say almost 40. Cause I think you started just after 3:45, so that's 15. Yeah, so about 40ish.
Okay.
30, 40.
Yeah.
Solid, solid. From a timing standpoint, um, smiling, man, smiling. I felt you pacing yourself. That's good. And so this is where I feel like your two worlds will compete a little bit. Oh dang. Hold on one second. I'm not gonna answer this. I'll call him right back. Oh Lord.
What?
My, my life consists of putting out fires these days. So lots of those. From a pacing standpoint, I literally wrote this down on the second go round, like much better. Like you did an incredible job slowing down. Let me go back up to the top. There we are. So much better the second time around. I said this time it felt like you commanded the stage the second time around. That's what I was getting at. I think your two worlds can compete because In the workout, you have to be like, you, you got 34 minutes and you got to hit it all. You got to go super big and you got to super fast, right?
Mhm.
But here, you gotta, it's a group of people. It's like pottery, just imagine just watching that. You're just molding them. So you're taking them on this journey. So it's like they'll have some moments where you kind of increase and you have some moments where you bring it back down. I didn't have a ton of feedback for you, which is good. And so that means you're further along than you think. So that was good. Your pace and your dynamics were great the second time around. I will say there's a few areas where you can relate to them a little bit more. So when you said, I'll give you an example. Right off the top, you slowed down perfectly when you talked about being a woman in a man's world, like for all those years. So you paced it right. Now when you let them sit in it, I would hit them with something like, and I know if anyone on the earth knows exactly what I'm talking about, it's this group of people. It's just like that little extra, like, because now they feel like,
Mhm.
oh, damn, he's talking to me. Yeah, because you are talking to them. But so that's just like just a little bit of extra nugget there. And then blah, 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 blah. You said, I'm confident. This precisely why I'm confident I can help you. That was an excellent transition. Like that transition, textbook, solid, money in the bank. So you did a great job from there, slowing down on the foot story. And with that toxic relationship with yourself, the pace was again lock in step, right where you needed to be. That's another place I would relate. So by saying, like, have you ever been there, right? You said I was in a toxic relationship with myself and my health. I think that's what you said. It was like, I
Mhm.
don't remember the exact quote, but right after that is when I would hit them with like, have you ever been there? Have you ever felt like, you
Okay.
were just, and so, just like two questions right there, just two follow-ups, just to get them to take it off of your story and put them back in the hot seat. So that's
Got
why
it.
you just throw those little relatable moments in there. And then the rest of it was solid. The transitions were good. You know your information. So it's like, I know you're still getting all the way acquainted with it, but you know it. So you're doing great there. Where I would like to see you is once you got into the 5 steps, I didn't see anything wrong with your transitions there. I think just go for them confidently. The more you think about them, you can kind of spin a little bit. But if you just go for it, those are fine. The information, like the back of your hand. So you did a great job teaching there. I did a lot of smiling in that because, your personality and character really shine through there because that's the area you're most confident in right now because that's the information you teach all the time. So eventually you'll be super equally confident in all of it, just like you are with that part. And it's all gonna flow. It feels clunky because you're still kind of getting acquainted and familiar with how you deliver it. It doesn't feel clunky to me. It feels that way to you because it's something new that you're still learning, and so you can't flow like you normally could with this other info that you've been teaching that you know like the back of your hand. But you will the more you continue to rep it out. Um,
Right.
when you got to, I
And
think, go ahead.
just real quick, what I'm recognizing from like Level Up, I had slides, right? So I was really just teaching the slides, right? And so that really did help me. So I
Hmm.
was able to just go off of the slides, right? And so I'm not always going to have that, right?
I mean, a lot of places will ask you, so if you want them, so a lot of times they'll accommodate you if
Yeah.
that's what you. So, but you won't always have them. Yeah, that's correct.
Yeah.
And then the last thing I had was in point number two, I think it was when you said, now I clap for myself now. Like, that part, that section, it was somewhere, I want to say it was in point number two, but it was within the 5 pillars of the freedom formula, 5 steps.
Hmm.
You talk about like getting to the point where like you don't need that from the external, like you
Hmm.
clap for yourself. I would love for you to like put a little bit more oomph in that part.
Okay.
Like, even like I'm clapping for myself, but like a little volume, like cheerleader volume
Okay.
there. And then at the very end. a little cheerleader volume two. When you said
Yeah.
we're not doing that anymore. Like right after that, you kind of got to this like I could feel the power in the words. You want to match that with your voice.
Okay.
That's it. The rest of it is
Deal.
money in the bank. Like you did a really great job. You've done a great job. I could tell you got clarity. So not a lot of feedback. It's just now lock in. Do it once a day. What you just did once a day. Do it once a day. And what I want you to do is text me your favorite emoji when you do it. So you don't even have to say a word. All you gotta do is your
Okay.
favorite emoji, and then I'll know it's done. And if I don't get that by a certain time, I'm like, ma'am.
Yeah. Okay.
And then we'll run it back next week. And I want you, did you have notes today?
Um, what do you
Just
mean?
like were you reading from notes, the notes you prepared?
Yeah.
Are you gonna do that when you actually present it to them?
Um, I don't know yet.
Good. Okay.
I
Well,
I'll probably have slides. Um,
that makes it
I know
easier.
I have a slide deck for them.
Okay.
But I haven't decided yet what I want to do.
Okay.
Why, what are your thoughts?
It doesn't matter either way, whatever makes you feel most comfortable. I was just asking more to know how I want you to present it next week. So, however you plan on presenting it that day is how I want you to present it next week. So, if it's slides, I want you to have your slides ready and I want you to give
Okay.
it to me that way. If you're going to read like notes, I mean, nothing wrong with that. My pastor at my mega church had his notes and they would be super color coded and like the transitions were one color, the points, main points were another color like highlighted. So he literally had this whole thing scripted, printed out. Now he didn't often read it, but he just studied it enough to where those colors would keep him on track and he would be able to deliver it that way. So whatever works for you at the end of the day, I just want to, however you're going to do it in front of the people is how I want you to do it with me next Monday.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, you know me, I work off a 3 by 5 card, so that's that's probably what I'll maybe just have one.
I like that.
But I would love to just get completely have the like everything memorized.
The more
So
you do this, you will. It's gonna
like I have the
like
5 C's, is the bulk of it is there. It's just the start and I have the beginning memorized. It's the end is still a little funky. I don't
you
know that I
got it.
love it.
Once
So
a day. Once I get my emoji, it's gonna get easier and easier the more
yeah,
times you do it.
deal.
That sound good to you?
Yep,
Sounds
you
good to
rock.
me. My friend. You rock.
All right, my friend. Thank you so much. I'm late for 5:30 meeting, so
So am I.
all right.
It's okay. It was worth it because it
Bye.
was you. Take care, my friend.
Okay, thank you. Bye.